my name's Will Hinkey. My company is called Red Canoe Media. Forgot there a minute what my company was called. I'm kind of nervous because I got a pretty short presentation today. And the one thing that I'm really concerned about is that I may kind of upset a couple people. I noticed that there's really no social media gurus in here, which is great. Sean's probably the closest, but he told me it was okay to thrash on social a little bit. In my opinion, you don't need social media to succeed in business. I really don't think you need it. I think maybe it's great to have, but I don't think that you absolutely have to have it in order to succeed. There we go. In fact, I would like to say that here is my kind of thoughts on social media. Mostly a waste of time, then a tiny little bit not a waste of time. That's it. Any questions? Brian?
What's in that little sliver?
What's in that little sliver? Let's talk about that. Thank you. All right, so most business owners, here's what we're, that was perfect. Thank you. I didn't even set it up.
Good job, Brian.
For most business owners, here's what we're doing, right? We're sitting at the laptop or whatever. We have no clue what's going on with social media. We know we're supposed to be on it. We don't know what we're supposed to be doing on it. So let's talk about it a little bit. Social media, according to Google, websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. Ooh, that sounds fun, right? Two parts of this that I really like. All right, create and share content, which I think is a terrific thing to use social media for. Right? It's a great way to, if you create some piece of content that you have, get it out there to everybody. That's a perfect medium for that. And then the second part, participate in social networking, which we're kind of doing today, right? We're kind of hanging out, networking, talking to other people. This maybe is just in a different format where you're talking to people on Twitter, things of that sort. But here's the question, do you need social media in your own business? Here's a list of different things as part of digital marketing. It's hard to read, but marketing foundation, SEO, mobile marketing, advertising, social media, email, website optimization, content strategy. Social media is the two light blue ones right there in the middle. Out of all those boxes, other than the top row, there's 25 boxes. Social media is 2 of those. 2 out of 25. And that's probably about right when it comes to how much social media how much do I need to spend on it, right? If we look at some of the other things, content strategy, 5 out of 25, so there's 1/5 of what you should be doing just in building good content for your website. If we add in website optimization, there's another one. That gives us almost 1/3, just those 2 things. Optimizing your site, building good content, and then sharing it on social media, of course. But just those 2 things is 9 out of 25, or what, 1/3, right? Of everything that you should be doing when it comes to digital marketing. So if you're going to do social media, you need to have a strategy in place. Would everybody agree? Yeah. Here's a strategy taken from Hootsuite. Is anybody familiar with Hootsuite? It's a platform that you can use to send out all your social media alerts. You can hook up Facebook, Twitter, all your different networks to that and send everything out. Here's what they say you have to do. First, you need to create social media objectives and goals. Okay, everybody do that first, right? Make sure you create those objectives. Okay? Then conduct a social media audit. It means look at your social media and say, yeah, I'm not really doing that great at it, right? Number 3, create or improve your social accounts. Well, that makes sense. If you're kind of not using them a whole lot, use them more, right? Boy, this is genius stuff. Number 4, get social media inspiration from industry leaders, competitors, and clients. So see what everybody else is doing and kind of copy them. Number 5, create a content plan and editorial calendar. Who has time to build one of these? Day 1, Monday, blog post at 8 o'clock. Twitter, 6:15, 11:15, 11:45, 17:45. I like that they use military time. That's good. 18:35 and 20:00. Then we'll do Facebook, then we'll do Instagram, and then it's Tuesday. We got to do this all again. How many business owners in this room have time to do this? Not everybody at once. This is insane, right? You're not going to be able to do this and do it right or do it well. And then, of course, number 6, which was basically test, evaluate, and adjust your social media marketing plan. So if it doesn't work, try something else. Right? That was their out. That was their way to write the blog post and say, but maybe we're not right. We don't know, right? So here's the thing. Everybody in this room has been told that you have to be on social media, right? You have to be on it. Everybody's doing it. If you're in business, you should be on the social media. But I really think that's insane. If this was you and you had to be on all these 6, where's your time to start doing your actual business stuff? Right? Does anybody have time for 6 more things? I call BS on the entire you have to be on social media. I think definitely you should be on it if you have the right content to share, if you have a good plan and good plan of action. But if you're just going to get on it just because everybody's telling you you need to be on it, then you're wasting your time. Social media is just one way to market your business. It's one of many, and they're not even all on this list. Trade shows, business cards, referrals, public speaking, all that stuff is part of the mix. To think that just one of these things is going to rescue your business or bring a lot of leads to you, you'd be crazy to think that, right? So this is kind of what I just wanted to have a little conversation with. If anybody has any questions, I got a couple more slides of tips and things that I think we can do. But I want to hear from the business owners, such as myself. What are your struggles with social media? What do you hear things like this? Do you agree? Do you disagree? All right. If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. So I'll stop bashing on social media. As business owners, there's a lot of pieces. Social media is just one of those pieces in the digital marketing realm. It's definitely not everything. And like I said, if you think that that one piece is going to help you a lot, it's just one of, in this example, 10, right? There's a lot more than even that. Here's the other one that I showed you earlier. It's 2 out of 25 things that you could be doing to market your business, grow your business overall. So what can we do as business owners, right? This is kind of what the struggle is. Well, the first thing you could do is stick your head in the sand, pretend like it's not really a thing. Social media is, I can ignore it and I'll be okay. What's the problem with that is people are talking about your business. People are out there struggling, or they're having difficulty, or they just had a bad experience or a good experience, or they're just looking for somebody to help them solve a problem. By sticking your head in the sand, you're basically just ignoring the fact that all that's out there, the good and the bad. And the bad could really hurt you. I mean, you guys have seen United, right, and all the trouble they had with the doctor being drugged through the thing. At least they replied to it and kind of did something with it. If they just stuck their head in the sand, it could have got even worse than it did, right? Another thing you could do is half-ass it, right? This is probably where a lot of us are. Did I offend everybody yet? Okay. This is probably where we're at, right? We know we need to be there, so we're putting something on Facebook every once in a while. Maybe we'll jump up onto Twitter and post a sale that we're having or something like that. But we're just kind of winging it. We're not really doing anything. This guy's changing the world one tweet at a time, right? Not really. The third thing we could do, of course, we already talked about the third thing, which is to build a full strategy. Take the time to sit down and do all this stuff and really kick some ass. This would be a great strategy. However, who has time to do all this, right? And the fourth option is to hire somebody. That's another way you can do it, and I'm surprised there's no social media people here. Gurus, as they call themselves, right? Social media gurus. But this is another option. You could hire somebody to do your social for you, and if you do it right, and if you hire the right person, somebody that's going to do this for you, it's a terrific idea. It's a great strategic partnership with a person that could really blow your business up. But it takes time, it takes effort, and we can't just half-ass it, right? All right, so let's get into some tips and then we'll chat. Number one, Google Alerts. Who's familiar with Google Alerts? Google.com/alerts. If you're not going to do anything else on social, sign up for Google Alerts, plug in your business name right there at the top in quotes. So you can see I have Red Canoe Media in quotes. What that does is that says I only want alerts when that exact phrase shows up somewhere on the web. I don't want an email from Google every time somebody uses the word Red and Canoe and Media in the same blog posts. Okay? I only want that exact phrase. So you can set that up to alert you once a day when somebody uses your business name. Really easy. Then you can kind of at least see what's going on. You might be a day or two late to the conversation, but that's okay. At least you're trying to be in the conversation, right? Another thing you can do is what our friend Ron Swanson says: never half-ass two things, whole-ass one thing. Right? If you're going to do it right. Take the time to do it the right way. Get with somebody and pick a platform and kick some butt on it, right? Don't try to go out to every platform and say, I know I have to be on the Twitter and I have to be on the Facebook, right? Pick one and really start to dominate it. Start to learn everything about it. If you're selling home interior, then you probably have a very visual customer base, right? So maybe Pinterest is the place for you to be. Maybe it's not Facebook or Twitter or where everybody else is at. Pinterest might be your place to really dominate because it's very visual, it's very female-based. It's a great way to go. They have an ad platform as well that you could show ads on. So you could really kick some butt and really pull in some good traffic just by picking that one platform. Same for Instagram. Depending on what you're trying to do. If you're not sure what to do, I'd start with Facebook. Who's on the Facebook? Oh, good. I thought I was the only one, right? Okay, who's got a business page for Facebook? Most everybody. Awesome. Okay, good. That might be a great place to start. And I'll tell you about this. I didn't put it in my slides, but there's something called the 411 rule. The 411 rule says put out 4 pieces of content that are helpful, that solve a problem, that promote something, that are maybe your competitors, or maybe just well-written pieces. 1 piece of content that is about something related to your business. You know, we're getting ready to build a new widget, or whatever it happens to be. And then 1 piece that's purely salesy. Here's our new sale for the month, or we've got a discount on this, right? The 411 rule, some people call it, what, the 80-10-10, whatever you want to call it, something like that. This is a great way to really start kicking some butt on social media, being very, very focused, which I think is my next slide. There we go. Focus and find your audience and stay with that one and really build it up very, very well. And then lastly, understand how does this integrate with all the other things I'm doing. I need to be building content. I need to be doing video. I need to be writing blogs. If I'm doing some of these pieces, I have to understand that social is just one piece of that puzzle. And it's the piece that sends that out to get a lot more people, like Steve would do, get it out to a lot of people so a lot more eyeballs get on that piece of content or whatever that is. Don't be afraid to automate. This is probably one of the last things. There are ways to automate some social media stuff. There are tools like Buffer. Has anybody heard of Buffer? Buffer.com. There's Sniply, Sniply.com, just like it sounds. But these tools let you, we'll say Buffer, for instance. If you find good articles that are good about your industry that your customers would like, you can send them to Buffer, and then Buffer will send them out randomly to all of your different audiences all at once. Very cool. It mixes them up so you're not sending the same message to Twitter the same time as you're sending one to Facebook. It's a great tool. They have a free version, and I think the paid version is $10 a month, maybe. Let you load up to 100 articles all at once. It's a great way to automate. It's a great way to provide that value, and it's very easy to do. So don't be afraid to do something like that as well. And then lastly, if you do want to hire somebody, check out the Social Media Club of St. Louis. They're a terrific organization. They have events every month. They're very involved in it, and if you want to hire somebody, then check them out and they will help point you in the right direction. But if you're going to hire someone, make sure it's someone who follows those things earlier, that does build an editorial calendar, that understands who your audience is, that wants to make all those difficult decisions or all that difficult work behind it. So, all right, questions, conversations, comments?
How important is YouTube and search now? I mean, obviously Google owns it, but I mean, the more videos you have, how does that escalate even search?
So YouTube is the #2 search engine in the US. It's not Yahoo, it's not Bing, it's #2 by far. It's owned by Google. There's a couple things you can do. You can, of course, if you put something out there, load the translation of it, or the transcribe, whatever that is, transcript of it. Put that up there. Google last week introduced something called Google Lens. Did anybody see that video? Google introduced a new thing last week. It's an app that goes on your phone, but if you're walking around your yard and you see a flower, you can take a picture of that flower and it will go out and find what kind of flower that is and give you more information about that. So they're starting to learn what pictures mean, and if they learn what pictures are, they'll learn what video is, right? And that's going to open up an entire another world in SEO, in all kinds of things, because right now it's basically just text driven. So I hope that answered your question. It's going to be huge. If it isn't already, video is definitely the way to go. Did I do that okay? Yeah.
What's the name of that app?
It's called Google Lens. And there has been one out for a while called Google Goggles, which is pretty cool. It's a little bit archaic, I guess, now. But let's say if you were at the zoo and you took a picture of the ZOO, it would find it and it would tell you what that was. Oh, that's in St. Louis. Here's some more information about it. They've really ramped that up now. I don't know if they're going to take goggles and turn it into Google Lens, but very interesting, the things that they're doing with that. Something else for you guys to do, right? Yeah.
If we checked your social media, where would we find you, and are you happy with it?
Yeah.
That's a terrific question. I like that. Sure, you can find me at Red Canoe Media pretty much anywhere, Facebook, Twitter. No, I'm not 100% happy with mine. I do a lot of the automation, only because, once again, I don't really have the time to do a full-on strategy. And I have built enough referral base that I don't think social media is the place for me to spend the time. I think anybody who subscribes to any of my stuff is going to get nothing but really good information. Is that a good commercial? Yeah. Thank you. Steve.
Hey, just real quick, one thing that we've noticed, unless you're a leader of the most powerful country in the world, people are not necessarily going to be looking for your social media content. So what we've always found is very important to make it stand out. And on a test we've done on content we've published before, we had like a 10 times better response out of a tweet, for example, that would have a video, and like a 5 times better response out of a tweet that would have an image. And just things that were just text by themselves, a lot of times got lost, didn't rise above the fray. So if you are putting content out there, in a lot of cases, it's always good to make sure you've got some sort of a catch or some sort of cartoon or some sort of video or something that's going to get the viewer's attention and bring it back to your website.
Definitely important. I'd also like to mention something called the Open Graph. If you're on a WordPress type website, then you should be using the Yoast SEO plugin. And what that does is add some open graph information to your website. And if somebody goes to share it, it'll always use the same picture. It'll always use the same description. So it'll keep everything in one specific format that you're always able to share without wondering, what are people sharing and is it working correctly? Any other questions? John?
I was going to say, there's no shortage of gurus, and at least when we first started doing this 10 years ago, our biggest competition was nephews. Because everyone's got, oh yeah, my kid can do this for me. What sort of red flags would you say people should look for if they go to a resource like the Social Media Club, there's good leads there. But if somebody approaches you and says, I can do this for you for this, that can be really appealing. What red flags should they be looking for?
Good question. I'd definitely go look at their own social media and let's see if they're doing what they're saying they're doing. I'd also, as you're having a conversation, see if they bring up some sort of an editorial calendar or some sort of plan. If they just say, yeah, I can post twice a day to Facebook for you. If there's no meat behind it, then I think that's probably a really big red flag. And I think a lot of nephews would do that, and not to bash them because they're trying to get into it, at the same time. But I think there's also a difference in price. Everybody's going to be able to undercut you at some point. But I think price speaks volumes as well. Yep.
What do you think? I've heard all different varying theories on, when is the best time to post, to really get the most traction.
Okay. I almost put a slide in here. Buffer, that I mentioned earlier, did a thing last year on when is the best time to post. And it's kind of silly in my mind because it really depends on the industry. It depends on where your customers are. Are your customers, coming home at 5 and then eating and then sitting down and going through Facebook at 6 or 7, well then that's probably a pretty good time to post to them, right? Or is it business owners that you need to hit Tuesday because you know there's probably not a meeting between 8 and 12 or something like that. So I think really it depends. I don't think there's any one industry answer. Buffer does do some pretty cool things. When you sign up for it, they'll go look at your past tweets and past posts and see when you got the most engagement and then start to schedule your other posts out at those particular times. So I think that's a great little tool. Ken?
I think one thing that you touched on, which was really important, was the monitoring. And it's not just getting mentioned somewhere in the, in your space or on the internet, but someone may post a bad review about your service. If you're in the consumer, you've got a consumer-facing business, they may do a Yelp review. They may post on your Facebook page. People don't monitor sometimes their Facebook page, and you really want to cultivate that. So not only just responding to those reviews, but if you do a really good job for somebody, encourage them to post a positive review someplace for you.
Definitely.
Never fake a review. Always make them real. But that can build that presence there. Those are really powerful things. When people look up your business, they see those positive reviews, and a couple negatives if you respond properly. Just build credibility.
Yes. Google does not ding you for having a negative reviews if they're within 1 of 10 or something like that.
Is there any way to knock down, I get this call every once in a while, somebody will say, well, I'm on rip-off report, or I got ripped by this, or somebody that. Is there any way to get that knocked down? Because that's always like the top search thing.
There is. It's probably not a social media play. It's probably more of an SEO play. Build some really good content, get some stuff out there that just boosts those particular articles up and then pushes those other ones down. Okay, thank you everybody.